Hello, Janessa. I'm sorry that we missed you today. Just wanted to share with you a little bit some of the things that I shared with the class this morning. This says Rockin, 1950s, and as we scroll down here, just shows you these are the way some of the people dressed at that time. Now, this is a young girl dressed in a 50s attire. It says boys in the 50s wore rolled jeans, high top tennis shoes, leather jackets, and slicked back hair. Girls in the 50s wore poodle skirts, saddle shoes, that's what these are, bobby socks, that would be white socks that are folded down at the ankles like this, and Letterman sweaters. Letterman sweaters were kind of like cardigans, and they sometimes would have these stripes here, and maybe a great big letter that would be the letter for the first initial of your school or something like that. So cars in the 50s looked a little different than the cars today. Many of them were bright colors like turquoise or pink. Obviously, this is a black and white picture, so we can't see the turquoise, but here's a pink one. So, and then the roller skates here, notice they'll talk about those down here. Kids in the 50s couldn't drive, but they liked to get around on their roller skates and bicycles. In the 50s, soda shops were a popular hangout spot for people of all ages. They had good music, soda pop, and ice cream, which, as you may or may not know, we had root beer floats today, and so that was kind of where that came from. Where a root beer float is where you mix ice cream and root beer. So, and then it says here, a 1950s favorite was the root beer float. And as we scroll down here, another popular 50s hangout was the drive-in. You could drive up to a movie and watch from your car, or you could drive up to a restaurant and a car hop would bring you your food. What does that say right there? It says McDonald's. This is what a McDonald's used to look like. And as far as a car hop, they would have the people who worked in McDonald's. Now, as you can see, there are no tables inside there. You either had to go up to a window and place your order, or certain drive-ins, you would park your car and there would be a little speaker here and you could press a button, tell them what your order is, and then somebody would bring it out to your car and place it on the side of your window. And sometimes they would wear roller skates to bring that out, added a little fun dimension, and I suppose they thought they could get around a little faster if they were rolling on wheels. Rather than just walking to the car. And then this is like a drive-in where you would pull in your car, look at all the cars that are parked here to watch a movie on a big screen. A fad is something that is popular for a short amount of time. Some fads in the 1950s were ant farms, hula hooping, and phone booth stuffing, which was when kids would see how many people they could fit inside a telephone booth. Now, we don't even have telephone booths today because now everybody carries around a cell phone, either in their purse or their pocket, and so they don't need one of those, or one of these telephone booths. But before cell phones were invented, you would have these phone booths where inside here there would be a phone connected to the wall, and you couldn't take it with you, and the receiver that you would hold in your hand to talk into was connected with a cord, and you had to pay money in order to use it if it was a public telephone. So can you imagine stuffing people in here? That does not look fun to me at all. This is an ant farm where it's two pieces of thin glass, and they put dirt and ants, and for fun, I guess you just watched the ants as they crawled around and made their tunnels. And here you have hula hooping. And so I didn't even realize when I started bringing in the hula hoops for some of our recess activities that kind of came about in the 50s. Do you recognize any of these toys? They became popular in the 1950s. First was the Barbie, introduced in 1954, and Play-Doh started as a way for people to clean their walls. boys and girls got a kick out of that this morning. And as I explained to them, it was a modeling compound. So just, think about what Play-Doh looks like, and you could stick it, dab it onto the wall, and it would pick up dirt. And that was, I guess, what they used. And then eventually it just kind of became fun to play with. Do you know what this is? Yep, a slinky. And then the kids here are playing with a Frisbee. Those kind of came about in the 50s also. Music was a huge part of the 1950s. Many singers became popular, like Elvis Presley. That's who this man is here. Children listened to music on a record player, which is what this picture is. And so this black round disc thing is a record. Or they listened to a jukebox, and this had several records in it, and you would push the button of the song that you would want to hear. And they would dance to their favorite songs at sock hops. And so a sock hop would be like a dance at your school. And, I don't know for sure, but I explained to the kids this morning, why did we call it a sock hop? I think that the reason they called it a sock hop is because a lot of these dances at schools would be held in the gym, and the shoes, those saddles that I showed you way up here that the girls would wear. Where did that go? Yeah, okay, right here. These shoes the girls would wear maybe would scuff up the gym floor. The gym shoes here, the high tops, those would have been okay for boys, but sometimes the boys would also just wear a black shoe. I don't know if you can tell maybe in this picture. So those would leave some scuff marks on the gym floor. So they said, okay, you can dance on the gym floor if you take your shoes off and just dance in your socks. Now, she has on some shoes here. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know for sure. I just kind of assumed that, but I could be totally wrong. And this says, let's hand jive and twist. These are just a couple of examples of popular dances in the 1950s. No, they didn't know how to whip or nay-nay. Let's learn a few more moves before we head on our way to our own sock hop. So in our activities today, and I have some other links for you to click on where we showed the boys and girls some steps in how to do the hand jive. And then the other dance move that we watched was called the jitterbug. It was fun to watch, but it was pretty fancy, and it would take a lot more than just a day to learn how to do that. But it's more of like a partner dance like this, what these two people are doing here, where the hand jive was more an individual dance that you would do in a large group. So I hope that you were able to enjoy our pictures that we posted on Class Dojo. And I'm so sorry, honey, that you didn't get to participate with us. So come back and visit tomorrow, and we'll have some pumpkin activities. Bye-bye.